Flow into gratitude for this principle. The strongest strategy isn't adding more moves. It's minimizing mistakes until probability begins working for you. Flow into gratitude for this principle. Because hidden inside it is a pattern that quietly governs success in business, learning, investing, relationships, health, creativity, leadership, decision-making, and nearly every complex system humans have ever built. Most people believe progress comes from doing more. More effort, more ideas, more productivity, more information, more hustle, more optimization. But if you watch nature carefully, if you study high-performing teams, if you examine expert performers, a different pattern begins to emerge. The greatest systems rarely become extraordinary by continuously adding. They become extraordinary by removing what repeatedly causes failure. Imagine two climbers. One searches constantly for magical shortcuts. The other simply avoids every unstable foothold. At first, the shortcut hunter appears faster. But mountain after mountain, the second climber quietly pulls ahead, not because they discovered secret knowledge, because they allowed probability to become an ally instead of an enemy. This is one of the deepest ideas in decision science. Complex outcomes are often less about creating spectacular successes than about systematically preventing predictable failures. That sounds simple. It is not, because the human brain is naturally attracted to addition. Adding feels productive. Subtracting feels invisible. Buying another book feels like progress. Removing one bad habit rarely receives applause. Learning another technique feels exciting. Eliminating one recurring mistake feels ordinary. Yet ordinary corrections often reshape extraordinary futures. Think about a leaking bucket. You can pour water into it all day. You can invent better ways to carry it. You can calculate faster routes to the river. But until the leak disappears, every improvement quietly escapes through the same hole. The mathematics is unforgiving. Tiny losses repeated consistently overpower occasional gains. Now look beyond mathematics. Look inside the mind. Psychologists have long observed that people often overvalue dramatic interventions while undervaluing small, consistent changes. We naturally remember spectacular wins, while quietly ignoring the countless errors that never happened because someone exercised patience, preparation, or restraint. That creates an illusion. We celebrate visible victories. We overlook invisible prevention, but reality keeps its own score. Imagine a chess grandmaster. To an audience, one brilliant move captures attention. Inside the master's mind, however, dozens of terrible moves were discarded before a single piece was touched. The masterpiece wasn't the move. The masterpiece was everything that never happened. That is hidden intelligence. Now imagine this principle expanding beyond chess. A surgeon, a pilot, an engineer, an investor, a scientist, a parent, a teacher. Across these worlds, excellence often looks surprisingly similar. The highest performers are not constantly performing miracles. They are consistently avoiding unforced errors. One careless assumption prevented. One unnecessary argument left untouched. One impulsive decision delayed. One distraction ignored. Each action seems insignificant. Together, they change the entire probability landscape. Here's where the mathematics becomes beautifully counterintuitive. Every mistake avoided does more than prevent one bad outcome. It preserves future opportunities. Think of your life as a branching tree. A single preventable mistake doesn't close one branch. It can eliminate entire forests of future possibilities. Likewise, one wise decision doesn't merely improve today. It keeps tomorrow's options alive. That is the hidden geometry of choice. Every decision reshapes the decisions that will later become available. The future is not a straight road. It is a living network continuously redesigned by the present. Now notice something even stranger. The fewer unnecessary mistakes you make, the less energy your brain spends repairing damage. That energy becomes available for creativity, for learning, for relationships, for noticing patterns that were always there but hidden beneath noise. In psychology, attention is one of our most limited resources. Every avoidable mistake consumes attention twice. Once when it happens, again while recovering from it. Prevention quietly protects not only outcomes but also mental bandwidth. And with greater mental bandwidth comes clearer judgment. This is why wisdom can appear almost effortless. It is not that wise people see a different world. Often, they have simply removed enough recurring errors that reality becomes easier to observe. Suddenly, complexity begins to simplify itself. Patterns emerge. Connections become obvious. The mind stops chasing every possibility and starts recognizing the few that truly matter. Now return to that simple principle. The strongest strategy isn't adding more moves. It's minimizing mistakes until probability begins working for you. Notice what it does not promise. It does not promise perfection. It does not guarantee success. Real life always contains uncertainty, but it reveals something far more durable. When you repeatedly reduce avoidable errors, you gradually shift the odds in your favor. Over weeks, this may be difficult to notice. Over years, it can become transformative. That is why the most powerful improvements are often the least dramatic. They rarely arrive with applause. They arrive as fewer regrets, fewer crises, fewer repairs, more options, more clarity, more freedom. And perhaps that is the deepest lesson hidden within this principle. The world often teaches us to search for the next brilliant move, but the quiet mathematics of enduring success suggests another path. Before asking, what extraordinary thing should I add? Ask, what recurring mistake can I remove today? Because sometimes the greatest breakthrough is not hidden inside the next opportunity. It is hidden inside the next mistake that never gets a chance to happen.